Detective Patrick Dempsey, Gang Unit. It was a night of disappointment. Terry Barfield said he was a changed man. He helped start the South Family Gang. Twice convicted of murder, he got out of prison summer of 2015. In September, Barfield said he wanted to help fight the gang problem, coming clean about his past.
Ran parts of the city, with drugs, guns.
But drugs and guns get him into trouble. 3 months after saying his criminal history was history, this scene. It's Barfield being arrested again.
I heard, "Get down, get down, get down." A bunch of people just came out wearing bulletproof vests, looked like automatic rifles.
Detective Patrick Dempsey helped coordinate an undercover operation to catch Barfield purchasing the weapons. Barfield allegedly offered just more than $100 and some marijuana for them. From his nomination, realizing the gravity of the situation, Dempsey worked assertively to coordinate the investigation with multiple law enforcement partners such as the ATF, County Attorney, U.S. Attorney, Gang Unit, Firearms Squad, and the SWAT team. Detective Dempsey's professionalism, dogged determination, and investigative prowess makes him quite adept at illegal gun interdiction. In this case, based on Barfield's past history violence, one can only imagine what tragedy was averted for some family or families in Omaha. Sgt Jeff Kopites, Fugitive Unit. May 20th, 2015, a typically overcast Omaha spring day. There was no hint of the cloud that would soon settle over the city and the Omaha Police Department.
The search for 26-year-old Marcus Wheeler took Omaha Police to 30th and Martin Wednesday, with Sgt Jeff Kopites and Officer Robert Laney first on the scene.
Marcus Wheeler was a known gang member, a violent felon, wanted on a felony warrant for a shooting the year before. He would shoot again this day.
Wheeler starts shooting at Omaha Police. Sgt Kopites returns fire, hitting Wheeler in the chest. But one of Wheeler's bullets found its way around Officer Kerry Orozco's bulletproof vest.
The officer and the suspect were transported to CHI Hospital in extremely critical condition and with CPR in progress.
As we all know, Kerry didn't make it. Neither did Wheeler. What Sgt Jeff Kopites did that day was remarkable. Even after the suspect fired at him, he didn't back down, instead returning fire. The suspect ran. Sgt Kopites gave chase. The suspect fired at him again. Sgt Kopites again returned fire. The suspect was down. The threat ended. From his nomination, Sgt Kopites should be recognized for his actions. He was faced with a deadly force encounter with a suspect set on not being caught and harming and killing Omaha police officers. Sgt Kopites acted with extreme bravery and professionalism, and his actions prevented additional tragedy. Detective Candice Phillips, homicide. Detective Phillips has been in the homicide unit since 2010, and no matter what the case,
till we have just that perfect remedy of what we need, we can't move forward to go to court.
She never stops working the case.
I believe that there are people with information about this case that I would hope that would be able to call us anonymously or to contact our homicide unit.
And it pays off. July 6, 2010, two teenagers walking a dog near 52nd and W make a grim discovery in an alley. The body of a woman, 50-year-old Barbara Gonzalez. Detective Phillips gets the case and before long has a pretty good idea of who did it. But she doesn't have enough evidence to make an arrest. Using all the tools at her disposal, including social media and Crime Stoppers, Detective Phillips keeps the case active, trying to convince certain people to come forward. While Barbara's family holds memorials in the alley where she was found, burning sage and candles.
It's a matter of who done it, and there's someone out there that knows.
Finally, a Crime Stoppers tip comes in. Detective Phillips gets the information, the interviews, and then, 5 years after it happened, an arrest. 3. And the family is grateful.
We always thought that this detective was going to get Barb some justice. So, and she did.
from her nomination. Detective Phillips is determined and dedicated to serving the homicide victims and their families. She strives to complete all her cases with arrests so that justice may be served for the family left behind due to the actions of an individual or individuals with depraved hearts. Officers Austin Taylor and Heath Bruno, Uniform Patrol Bureau. This crime-fighting duo patrols Omaha's Northeast Precinct, and they keep busy. This is the department's plotting of all crimes in Northeast just between September 2015 and January 1st, 2016. The time officers Taylor and Bruno have been riding together. And their stats speak for themselves. They've seized 192 grams of methamphetamine, 150 grams of cocaine, made 39 felony arrests, recovered 8 guns, 3 occupied stolen vehicles, and $3,600 in counterfeit money. Major stops include one at 36th and Ames, where they suspected some sort of drug trafficking was happening. Getting consent to search, they uncover coke, pills, marijuana, and a gun. Another stop at Highway 75 in Lake. They stop a car, smell marijuana, and much more. There's meth, more pills, another gun. One other highlight, officers Taylor and Bruno pull over a vehicle at 37th and Ames. Once again, suspect there's some kind of drug dealing going on and call in a canine. Sure enough, inside, a lot of methamphetamine, a ton of narcotic pills, even a loaded tactical shotgun. From their nomination, Officer Taylor and Officer Bruno have been a leader in all major statistics on A-Shift. They have great attitudes and have the drive to work hard. Their effort has made North Omaha and the city a safer place. Officers James Paul, Kimberly Woolery, and Jeffrey Gassaway, Gang Unit, Safe Streets Task Force. These 3 officers have been on the job for years. Paul, 24, Woolery, 18, Gassaway, 19. All serving in different areas, but all with experience in the gang unit and all on the Greater Omaha Safe Streets Task Force. It's there where they lead OPD's role in something called Operation Red Rising. That was a 17-month-long investigation into the increasing criminal activity of a notorious Bloods gang. It started with a series of violent bank robberies in 2014. A witness was shot in one of them. Banks weren't the only targets. It's believed this was tied to the robbery and murder of Omaha jeweler James Minshall. Using a number of techniques, the team tracked down a number of suspects, securing 10 warrants. With the robbers caught, they moved to the drug dealers in the gang. For a solid year, they used confidential informants, surveillance, financial records, monitored and reviewed thousands of phone sessions. It was extensive, and it ended here.
Thursday morning, investigators surround a home near 33rd and Belvedere. State troopers and Omaha police officers bring several people out for questioning,
with the arrest of 10 more gang members.
We quickly learned that the individuals involved were involved in large-scale trafficking of narcotics here in the Omaha metro area.
And they'd been involved in more than drugs. Their history? Sexual assault, shooting, robbery, burglary, assaulting an officer, terroristic threats. From their nomination, through perseverance, communication, cooperation, and dedication to duty, officers Paul, Gassaway, and Woolery were able to disrupt and dismantle a large criminal blood gang organization operating in the Omaha metro area. In doing so, these arrests have made Omaha a safer community for us all. Detective Nick Hereford, Homicide Unit, Digital Forensics Squad. Nick Hereford is the Digital Forensics Squad, the only officer assigned there. A former computer programmer, his skills are in demand, especially in homicide investigations, like that of Jessica Nelson.
On June 25th, police found Jessica's body in her home near 83rd in Miami. Loved ones say they can't imagine anyone would want to hurt her, let alone take her life.
She was very loved. She always tried to help people. She was a really good person. She worked very hard and she really loved her son.
Who did it? Homicide detectives were able to narrow their search to one suspect, but they didn't have enough to make an arrest.
We just hope that, they get caught soon, and the Omaha Police Department and the investigators have done a really amazing job so far.
And Detective Hereford's expertise got the job done. He's processed numerous cell phones and computers for the homicide unit, often recovering vital evidence that would otherwise disappear. Well, Detective Hereford found critical information on the laptop computer of Jessica's suspected killer, tying him to the crime. From his nomination, this is only one example of work conducted by Hereford without the aid of anyone. Hereford provides exemplary investigative support and goes above and beyond to process devices and search for evidence that would be undetectable by the average officer during an investigation. So here they are, 9 of Omaha's finest: peacekeepers, problem solvers, protectors. This year's Swanson Grimm Crime Stoppers Officer of the Year nominees.